Hello, welcome to Market Views, a podcast series of Open Business Council and JPFS, where we discuss financial and trading news and interview key personalities and engage with our audience. Today we have Katja Damij, Managing Partner, and Bertram Seitz, the Advising Partner of Best Crypto Index Fund, and my co-host, Peter Kristensen from JPFS. So welcome, Katja and Bertram, to Trademakers.
Hello.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
I'm very excited to hear a little bit more about the Best Crypto Index Fund. So Bertram, can you tell us about the strategy behind Best Crypto Fund and what investors can expect if they invest in it?
Yes, with pleasure. We were for a long time thinking about creating a product that actually serves the view more or less that we have on the industry. So we strongly believe in the blockchain technology and decentralized way of going forward for the economies and so on. And we said, okay, instead of being another manager that has maybe the top 5 cryptocurrencies, this and that, and a lot of trading strategies and whistles and bells around it, we said, okay, let's do something that the people really understand. So what we do is actually just simply taking the 18 biggest by market cap and somehow create what we like to call a crypto blue chip index that simply gives the opportunity to participate in the growing market at any time.
So Bertram, how long has the program been live and what has been the historical net results?
The product actually went live only a few weeks ago. I think the first rebalancing we did was on the 3rd or 4th of July, so only a couple of weeks ago. But there's been a lot of back testing and copy trading or demo trading involved. We started to monitor from 1st of Jan 2020. Of course, this gave a big hype. I think the top performance was around 647% when Bitcoin hit the top. And then we decided to put the index actually to 100 the day we went live. So we, as it is Thursday today, we just did the rebalancing. Our index is now at 101.67. What I think is interesting is that we are at the moment outperforming the Bitcoin through the mix we have in the top 18 by roughly 9%.
Okay, so your benchmark is Bitcoin rather than the top 18.
Yeah, the benchmark is actually the performance itself, but it's always nice to compare to the most known.
Mm-hmm. So Bertram, how do you manage the risk in the Best Crypto Index Fund in terms of, you just mentioned earlier, the rebalancing?
So, of course, there's several risks you have to consider. I mean, we are actually EU regulated and ESMA controlled. So there's a lot of rules and things we have to follow. One of them is, of course, to have secure custody that we will be able to find in our partner's grip in Switzerland. So I think the storage of the assets and the security of the assets is one of the key points. The rebalancing itself is very mechanic. So we simply take a screenshot at midday CET of the market cap of the coins. We see who's out of balance, and otherwise it's equally invested. So the rebalancing takes us, let's say, somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes, and then the new allocation is done. Everything goes back into cold storage and waits till next Thursday. Mm-hmm. For market risk, we have implemented clear rules, 50% drawdown in one coin brings total, we're just squaring the position, we're taking the coin out. And if we have 100% gain in one coin within the week from rebalancing to rebalancing, we take out 10% of the position. So that's it. It's very simple, very easy to understand, and that was the goal of the product from day one.
Sorry for interrupting here. So it's Bertram. So it's more or less an automation, purely on mathematics, And no human interaction.
Absolutely. It's zero emotion. It's numbers only.
Okay.
So there's no real intellectual property behind it, if you want. It's a screenshot. But it has to be like this to make the people understand and say, okay, I can actually understand what this is. So this is very interesting. Do you want to be part of this move that's going to happen in the blockchain and crypto market? Very easy. And with help of people like you in SGT markets and trade makers, we give it to the public. Yeah.
So Katja, is Best Crypto Index Fund regulated?
Yes, of course. This was our goal from the beginning. We wanted to offer a legal, regulated crypto product. So, and crypto index is like, one of the best way to start for the most investors to start with crypto index. It's very easy to understand. And of course, product is fully regulated. So it's registered, open alternative investment fund with ISIN code, with everything that the fund has to do. So with reporting to European Security Market Agency. So even if we look with the new crypto law coming, was adopted in April, so marketing crypto assets, this MiCA or MiCA, we are fully compliant already.
So in terms of it's been regulated, which country is the fund in?
Yeah, it's funded in Slovenia, so it's completely EU regulated.
So Bertram, can you tell us a little bit more about the custodian for Best Crypto Index Fund and how the deposits into the fund are safeguarded?
So safeguarding happens through our partner Script in Switzerland. They are regulated by the Swiss authorities. They have very strong partnerships together with Fireblocks and renowned companies in the industry. They offer fraud insurance. They offer an operational risk insurance in decent amounts. So we are very happy to work with them. And this actually ticks the last box for institutional investors to actually say, okay, this is fine. Yeah. Talking about insurances, pension funds, and so on. We tick their compliance boxes.
Mm-hmm. But previously you did mention hot and cold storage. Could you just explain that a little bit more for our investors?
Yeah, I mean, what actually happens is at the moment when we need to do the rebalancing, of course, these assets need to be available on the blockchain so we can transfer them. So, and they need to be kind of online. So as soon as we've done the rebalancing, we actually take them off again. So they go in a storage that is not accessible, that is not part of the network. So they get disconnected and stored offline, if you want.
Mm-hmm.
So does that, Bertram, does that mean that you don't have actually any exchange risk at all, even though only when you're actually rebalancing it, the rest of the time you don't have any exchange risk?
Yes.
Let's say it was on Coinbase or Binance, or let's say it was on FTX, then you wouldn't have had any exposure to FTX.
Probably in the 28 minutes where we do the rebalancing. You know, if they would have gone bust, then it would have been a problem. No, but otherwise these assets would not have been affected at all. Yeah.
Okay, that's brilliant. Brilliant.
So Katja, what are the all-in costs of investing in Best Crypto Index Fund, and how quickly can they withdraw their money?
Yeah, we really try to keep the cost for the investors very low. So we don't have any management fee, of course, because the fund is not actively managed. As Bertram said, it's zero emotion, and also no administration fee. But we have 2% agio, so entry fee, 2.5% exit fee, and what we only take is 25% of performance fee based on high watermark. So withdrawal and deposits, of course, are possible weekly because we do weekly rebalancing. So, of course, investor can invest or send us for payment out any time, but we will do it weekly, each Thursday.
So Peter, what are the advantages for people investing in Best Crypto Index Fund via trade makers and SGT instead of coming directly?
I would say it's more or less like buying an ETF. If you don't have a view, you think the market is going to go up. You have a positive thing. Let's say you want to go into S&P, you want to go into Dow Jones, you want to go into NASDAQ, but you don't have a view on individual stocks. If we look at NASDAQ today, there's like 6 or 7 companies that holds up the whole index. But if you don't hit that one, but then you actually lose money or your status quo. So this is a more or less like if you like to be into the crypto market and the blockchain, it's totally human agnostic, which means we think it's going to go up. We're very positive for the blockchain. We don't know when it's going to go up. We don't know which coin is going to go up, but it's having a part of all the coins. And it works a bit like, I would say, on the spider. You don't go in and value and say, oh, Bitcoin should have that valuation, this should have that valuation, but you want to be a part of the blockchain market. And that's the huge benefit of actually going into a product like this. That's why we onboarded with SGT and trade makers, simply to give the possibility to say, we think it's going to go up. We'd like to participate. We don't want to risk too much money. You can test it out for $5,000 or $10,000. You don't have to come up with $100,000, but you can test things out. And that's the reason why we've put actually BCIF, the best crypto index fund, on trade makers and also on SGT for our investors. And when it's going to go up, we don't know. This is not a short-term investment. This is long-term and say, do you know what? I think it's going to go up within the next year or two. I don't know. I don't have a clue which coin is going to go up. Yes, Bitcoin, that will probably go up. Ethereum will go up. Would you be a part of Ripple the other day when it actually had that solution? They won the case actually in the States, or the first case, and it suddenly went up. I think it went up like 120%. Would you have chosen that one? But it's one of the big market cap. So it would be within inside BCIF. And that's what I like about it. It's an industry that you're placing money into. And that's the advantage. And to do it via SGT, open the account, takes 5 minutes, 4 minutes, transfer the money and tick a box more or less, and then you participate for the next NAV. So done it as simple as possible, but it's to be a part of the industry. That's why we really like BCIF, if that makes sense.
Maybe I can add one thing. We did a bit of an analysis over the last weeks, and we represent, with the top 18 that we choose by market cap, this represents roughly 80% of the total market cap. So it's actually getting very close to a real blue chip index. Yeah.
That's very interesting in terms of the distribution of the market cap representing 80%.
Yeah.
Hadn't done the maths. So thank you, Katja and Bertram, for your introduction to Best Crypto Index Fund. So follow us on jpfs.com and openbusinesscouncil.org, and please engage with us on these links below, as well as on LinkedIn and Twitter, and send in questions for our next episode. Goodbye, and thank you for watching.